So I just started watching Jojo's Bizarre Adventure, and I feel like I got tricked into watching Castlevania Knockoff, where everyone says, Overdrive!
Hejo review.
Welcome to my very first Hejo Reviews, an anime series. I've never reviewed a show before, so if I suck at it, let me know. Honestly, I don't care. So started watching Jojo's Bizarre Adventure after getting a sense that there are a lot of memes around this series, and it is a piece of culture that I just don't understand and I didn't know about, and I need to understand and know about it because I am a curious individual. So I went into this series knowing nothing about Jojo's Bizarre Adventure other than extreme, detailed faces that appear in... Okay, so this all started because I was playing Turnip Boy Amidst Tax Evasion, and I talked to, I think, a tomato or something, and I had a weird face, and I was like, what's that? And everyone was like, oh, Jojo reference. I was like, I don't like that, I don't know that. So I started watching this, knew nothing about it, and I just made it to the part where, by the way, this is going to be completely spoilers. These are my first impressions where I'm going to share everything. So if you have not watched it, if you're curious about it, this is not a review for you. This is a review for someone who has watched it and wants to know my impressions. I just finished the Phantom Blood book, so I really like that the series was like end of book, because I'm like, okay, this is a good jumping off point. I can do a review/journal on this. And also, the main character is dead. What? Let's go back. So when this started, seriously, I didn't even know what kind of genre this thing was. So I'm just like, okay, it's probably going to be some kind of weird, hard to follow anime. That's kind of what I got out of it. And right off the bat, I'm like, okay, we're starting off with kind of a dark scene. We got a thief that's like looting corpses. Oh, wait, they're not corpses. Then we got a mask from The Mask, the 90s mask. And I was like, what's this? Is this like an evil mask people on? That like this is what Jojo's Bizarre Adventure is? And then whoop, time skip. Was not expecting that. And then all of a sudden, I was like, what was the whole point of this early thing if we're going straight into this entire different character? And then it's like, oh, we had to set the back scene so that there's the life debt so that we can get Dio introduced into Jonathan/Jojo's life and set up the stage for what's going to happen. So now I got it, but it was a little confusing as a first viewer. So first impressions of Dio, I'm like, smart guy, kind of a jerk though. And Jojo, I didn't like him at first. I'm like, oh, come on, Jojo, you're so dumb. Like, why are you so innocent and you're just gonna let this guy take over you? And I was like, this is a typical case of bullying. I don't like it. And then boom, time skip again. We skip 7 years and now they're best friends. And I'm just like, whoa, what's going on? If there's one thing that's consistent about the show is hold on to your whatever you're sitting on, because we're moving fast through this story. It is like bam, 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 bam. And I was like, oh, they're friends now. Oh, okay, maybe I can like Dio now. He's kind of like, I liked how cunning he was. So I was like, all right, we can maybe grow a bond with Dio. But then no, he betrays Jojo again and has just been waiting and abiding his time so that he can get the fortune after 7 years. And then we find out he tries to kill the father. And once again, we're back to like, oh my God, this guy is the biggest jerk ever. And then, of course, Jojo goes to find... Jojo's also like a super bulk now. I'm like, I liked him more when he was a bit younger. Now he's kind of exaggerated. And I'm already starting to pick up at this point. It's the one-upper type anime. I don't know if this is consistent, but one thing I got tired of in my anime back when I used to watch a lot of it was the fact that, so like for example, one that did it a lot was, I think Dragon Ball was guilty of this, where there's always like a narrator on the side, like someone on the sidelines watching and explaining why like one person is better than the other, or it's processed in the thoughts where he's like, oh my God, he dodged my block or dodged my punch, but I can one up by doing this. And then it goes to like the villain side, and then they're like, oh my God, so cunning that he blocked my punch. And then reverse with this finger stab that I couldn't expect, but I'm going to put my fist through his head. And then it just keeps like going back and forth. I used to hate that, but there's something about the way Jojo does it that is kind of charming. And I'm just like, this is so over the top, ridiculous. I'm okay with this. I'm entertained. And it gets even crazier when they introduce the next two characters, specifically Speedwagon, which is introduced as like a villain. Like a thief guy, like with, I don't even know, what is he? He's a thug. Gets introduced as a thug and then turns out to be like the biggest Jojo cheerleader, which I never thought I would even care about freaking Speedwagon. but he's just like so over the top, and he is your classic anime side character of just like, oh my god, I can't believe he has put his foot like that. And like, he is the character that sets the expectation of the audience of like, you need to be impressed because this character just said so. And he's like, I can't believe it. In all my years, I have never seen anyone be able to do this. And then you're like, oh, okay, that's what that means. And then they do it. Just like, he is the hype man just all the time. Just like, oh, every time. Like, there's always something going on. And then it's like pan to Speedwagon, who is honestly the most useless character, I think, when I'm thinking about it. What did he do? He did that one thing in the beginning where he helped prove Dio was a villain. And after that, he's just around. He's just there to kind of like cheer on. And I'm okay with that. He is a way better cheerleader than some of my classic anime cheerleaders, which I'm not going to shame on this video. And then they one-up Speedwagon with again, the one-ups. The next best character, and honestly, one of my favorite characters ever, Will A. Zeppeli. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's also the reason we need to have some sophisticated wine around here, because he brought the wine to the anime, and he's all like, you got to fight, and you got to learn the way of the Hamon? I don't want to say like ham. I feel like it's more than ham. So anyways, he's like this like super godly character that can pretty much do everything, and he just comes with so much confidence. And once again, all of this is just like back-to-back introduction. They're like, it goes from, oh my god, Dion's an ass who kissed your girlfriend. Oh no, he's your best friend. Oh no, he betrayed your dad. Oh no, he set you up with thugs. I might be paraphrasing that. Oh no, he just escalated everything, put a mask on. Oh, I guess we should have talked about that. The whole transformation into a freaking vampire before talking about Will A. Zeppeli. So yeah, oh my god, he's a vampire. Oh my god, there's a super character who can like use breathing to shoot light into zombie brains, which is a really cool thing. Just love that character's confidence. I love his power. I love the energy of this anime just being always over the top. Now let's step back a bit. I realize I forgot the biggest kind of plot device of Dio putting on the mask because he was cornered and turning into a vampire. And this is where I was like, this is feeling very Castlevania. And a lot of the shots I feel that were inspired directly from Castlevania. Like there's later on, in a few episodes later, there are shots of Dion sitting in his castle on a throne with his wine glass, and he's all like this, like very Dracula of you. And then there's freaking Jojo dressed in blue like Richter Belmont looking up, and I'm like, where is Jojo's whip? Is he gonna pull out a whip? No, he's got freaking sunlight yellow overdrive to deal with demons, which I'm okay with it. Again, so over the top. I love it. And then, so in between that, we get introduced, and okay, yeah, I was talking about the speed. So bam, vampire, bam, you got a new like master, bam, now Jojo has like these new abilities, and then bam, we go into, but I just realized all of this happened in 9 episodes. That is very fast pacing for what I'm used to. So yeah, now we get introduced to like kind of the first like mini boss fights of Bruford and Tarkus, these old dead warriors that come back. Very cool fight, and once again, it all does the whole thing of like, oh my god, he's using his super move. Oh no, it got countered by this thing that couldn't do it and froze his arm. And oh no, he's like, it's one-upping. It's just one-upping all the time. And it works here. It just works. The knight had, Bruford was pretty cool because turns out like he was just a really angry dead dude, but he still had honor, which was like, oh, okay, he's a good guy. And then when he died, like you felt good for him. I like that. And then Tarkus is like, nah, I'm just an ass. I just want to kill things. And that got crazy, and he is an ass because he freaking killed Will A. Zeppeli, my favorite character, who like lasted 3 episodes. I was just starting to create a bond with him, and then they killed him. And then I start building a bond with Jojo. Let's not get ahead of myself. I'm jumping all over because this thing like just whooshed me through the series so fast. So those boss fights, very cool, and then everyone's happy. It's like, all right, we're now it feels very Castlevania. It's the night. We're going to the castle. We're gonna fight Dion. And then of course the whole fight ensues, and this is ridiculous. So then we have Will A. Zeppeli's comrade who shows up. He's like, yeah, I've been training with him for 20 years, and like we're gonna fulfill things. And he like goes up against Dion, and like he's the one to set the bar of like, well, if he's that strong, Jojo's gonna have troubles. And he does like the most ridiculous thing of like kicking like your fists open, and then like puts his hands like down into your face, and then just gets decapitated instantly after his body gets shattered by ice. And he's a head in the flowers, and just to like have that moment of like, no, this character, we wanted to show how much more powerful Dion is, but this character is still a badass. Freaking blinds Dion by spitting a rose into his eye with some ham on in it, and it's like, it's so silly. It's okay. I love it. And then of course the fight happens, Dion dies, and I'm like, what? He's dead already? But then it's like, oh no, his head lives on because he manages to do, like, he didn't melt the brain. But I'm like, okay, this is going to set us up for season 2 nicely. Like I was expecting season 2, and I'm like, okay, we're going to wrap everything up. So I'm like, let's watch the next episode to see what the transition is. And it's like, oh, they got met. Jojo and his wife get married. Oh, they're off to the US. Okay, season 2 is probably going to be in the US. And then just nope, just Dion shows up. I'm like, all right, this is going to set things up. It's not gonna mean anything. And then he's just like laser beams, and Jojo is like dead. I'm like, no, he's okay. He's got to be okay. Like he recovered from everything else fine. And then, oh man, I hated the scene where, actually, I don't know if it was on the boat. I'm pretty sure it was on the boat. Yeah, it was on the boat. Where Dion is like fiddling with his artery, and like he's just like, the hand is inside the throat, and he's just like pulling. He's like, oh, if I just like pull on this so much, you're like instantly dead, but I need your body. And he's just playing around. And you just see like an artery, like just, oh my god, that gave me tingles. That was disgusting. And then of course he like kills a zombie, and he's like, oh no, I can't breathe. This is my last like fight. I'm going to die here. And then he actually dies. Like he does not one up or find a way to like bring breath or like seal his neck. He just dies. I really wasn't expecting that. I'm like, whoa, what's gonna happen with the rest of the series now? And then like it's set up where his wife has a random baby and is in a coffin in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, and they're just like, end of book 1 or end of part 1, whatever, end of Phantom Blood. And I'm just, and what happened to the head? The head, I think, just sunk, if I recall correctly. So I've just been taken on a wild ride. It happened so fast. I liked it. And now I'm just like, where does this go now? What do you do with this story? The whole show is named after this character who died. So what happens? What happens are there more JoJos? Are there more Dios? Is this actually like Castlevania, where you have the Belmont and the Dracula revive every 100 years, and it's just always the same fight in different periods? Because I'm like, that's been done before, and we also now have an anime called Castlevania for it. But I'm here for it. I'm all for this show. I was honestly expecting a more comedic show, so when I got kind of like vein playing, dick villain supernatural stuff, I was like, oh, not what I was signing up for. But let's keep going down this bizarre adventure because I like it. So I'm glad I found this. I'm gonna watch the whole thing. It's not a crazy anime, and as I hit other major points, I'm going to share my thoughts of them with you. If you've seen it, let me know what you thought of the first one, the Phantom Blood. And let me know what you think of the series in general with no spoilers. I do not want to see spoilers in the comments. If I could ban you from this channel, I would if you drop a spoiler. And if there's any other anime or show that you can think of that are similar to this that I might like, I'm open to recommendations as well. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next Hey J Reviews JoJo. And until then, keep it classy.